What does happiness mean to you? Is it getting to eat good food or stumbling across a good manga? But surely there is more than happiness than that. My happiness is when I feel joy, when I treasure the people who are important to me, when I treasure myself, actions and words like these. My happiness is being able to choose them at my own will. I had the same dream again. It's a manga adaptation of a light novel made by Yoro Sumino, the same author who wrote I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. And this manga explores the realm of happiness and maturity, showcasing the different sources of happiness and regrets that led to some of the characters' dark development. Like my addiction to gacha games. I can quit anytime. I'm still having fun. Look at those jiggle physics. They're not JPEG pixels, they're poly 3D characters. Wait, she has a bow tie on her pants. Koyanagi Nakano, a little girl who I would describe as a pretentious smartass. Her classmates avoid her for being too overbearing and hard to get along with. By smart and pretentious, she would whip out analogies that a normal elementary student wouldn't do. Like, life is like the inside of a fridge. I'd forget the onions, but I wouldn't forget my favorite cake. Like, first of all, I wouldn't even come up with that when I was like in elementary school. Like, what the heck is she saying, bro? I'd probably be more like Kiryu-kun, shy and submissive, which in turn, she gets misunderstood a lot of the times because she lacks the ability to understand social cues, norms, and to empathize with her peers properly. But one day in class, the teacher tasked them with finding out their own happiness. And that simple question planted a seed of questions blossoming into different branches and meeting their final and satisfying tip of conclusion. Going to the first branch, Minami is a young girl that's slightly older than Koyanagi who loves to write stories and wishes to become an author when she grows up. But she suffers from depression and self-harm because of her parents' divorce, leading her to live in an environment that thrives from sadness and despair. And on to the next branch is Abazuri-san, a woman who was on top of her class and on the track of becoming someone who has her shit together, thinking that would bring her happiness. But she was isolated due to her not being able to empathize with her peers and treating them like they're a bunch of idiots. But the outcome was that no one was there for her. She felt alone and became apathetic. She put her life down the drain and indulged herself in lust, prostitution, and dangerous substances that ruined her life. And finally, the last branch. On the tippity top of the tree branch is Obasama, a lady who lived through the hardships of life and accepted those mistakes she made, forming a zen understanding that those rough areas in her life were just the little things that led to her very own normal happy life. Being able to be there for someone, being a loving friend, and caring for her family, that is her own little normal happy life. Koyanagi slowly began to recognize her faults through the different lessons that Minami, Abazuri-san, and Obasama taught her on happiness. The natural growth she is able to undergo to empathize with the people that are important to her, like preventing her parents from getting a divorce and finally being able to form a mutual understanding with the overly shy Kiryu-kun. The manga methodically conveys the different types of happiness that a person can have. It slowly feeds you crumbs, leaving you with questions that engage you through a simple yet complicated narrative of the exploration of happiness. Then as you read through and consume the story, the different layers and questions meticulously solve themselves, wrapping your mouth in a bunch of bitter yet sweet flavors that leave you with the satisfaction of a full tummy. Wrapping up all those loose ends, every character, even the minor ones, has value to carefully uplift and cause distress that progress the story in a natural flow that doesn't feel rushed nor needs more chapters. It just hits the sweet spot of an upcoming age story of a little girl finding out what her own unique happiness is. So yeah, that's that. Our own happiness stems from our own values and how we interpret things in our own world. For me, making YouTube videos is a cluster of my hobbies that I find happiness in. Video editing, motion graphics, anime, improving my monotone narration skills, scripting, and you liking this video and subbing to the channel. Well, jokes aside, even though it doesn't reach a large audience, just making it and posting it has its own intangible feeling I get when I make something. So yeah, I guess that's my little insight on my own little world. Here's a video about a boy finding his happiness even if it leads to suffering. So yeah, I'll be there. Bye!